Hello, UGC fans. Welcome back to UGC Overwatch Season 15. We are entering our Week 5, almost coming up to the playoffs. Super excited for that. Tonight, we will be bringing you a beginner match here in one of our 4 different divisions. The eNet Vanguard versus V3. My name is Guthix, and I'm joined by my co-host Ethan. Ethan, how's it going, my man?
It's going pretty well, Guthix. Thanks so much for that warm introduction. I want to make sure that we're clear on something. Just because this is the beginner kind of echelon of this tournament, let's not be surprised when we see some pretty interesting strategies coming out from either of these two teams. And just because it says beginner doesn't mean these guys don't know how to play the game, and that's pretty clear to me here on the side of V3 already running this double shield composition with the Zen and the Baptiste, heroes who all benefit from our starting map here on Junkertown.
I'm not surprised by this compositions. Like, we have 4 different divisions. Beginner being almost the lowest, just above rookie, but still some standard compositions. I'm sure both teams still practicing them in scrims. Let's not forget to mention both of these teams coming into this match in this week 2-2, 2 wins, 2 losses, and with about 2 more games left, counting this one. If whoever picks up a win here, they are definitely in the playoffs. Whoever loses, though, they might not have a chance to get into the playoffs. So both teams trying to pick up this win. eNet Vanguard over on the blue side and V3 on the attack on the red. And, well, we're seeing a pretty good defense here for eNet Vanguard already as the Resurrect comes out, brings back boost so he doesn't have that long walk all the way from the spawn point. And already some ultimates coming up online as Obese Chicken get close, very close to a pulse bomb.
Yeah, and the ideal candidates for that ultimate are going to be Zaxadillo, who's only 36% to that Transcendence, nearly half of what Boosted Boy is at on their Zenyatta. You're going to be looking out for that Pulse Bomb coming out relatively soon from Obese Chicken to only 10%. In the meantime, you're watching to make sure that these shield resources here on the side of V3, oh no, are able to protect Fate and last long enough in the fight.
These stagger kills coming in from Jay. He had one in the last team fight as well. Now he has the Flux. Zax only 60% up to that Transcendence. He's not gonna have it as the Flux comes in from Jay, hits one in up in the air, and they're able to focus Keon down. But Piano Man gets taken out by Absolute, evening this fight up. Perry has the amplification matrix, drops it down. Oh, MK unable to get out of there before getting taken down. Able to bring Piano Man back into the fight. Transcendence coming out from Boosted now, just to keep everyone alive still, but they don't really have the numbers. Zac has the Transcendence on the other side. Some ultimates being used. A big dragon, but a Transcendence comes out from Zax and able to keep everyone up and alive. As Keon finds Jay, there's really not a lot of pressure on the point that eNet can do. So Tracer coming in, Bullsbot comes out on Obese Chicken, unable to get the Immortality Field down to keep him alive, but Fate's making work happen, picks up 2, now 3 eliminations, and looks like Fate is carrying V3 into this point A.
A long fight is going to end here with JP collapsing on the objective. A minute in the time bank was remaining. We had a little bit of a hesitation. B-John's looking at the point as a wrecking ball and saying, do I have a chance to touch here? No expenses spared on the side of V3 in the interest of successfully completing this first objective in their attack phase. And they'll be rewarded for it too, coming into this next fight with the Gravitic Flux and the Dragons as well, which might make for a pretty good combination of ults, especially considering that MK has the Valkyrie and we don't have a Transcendence from Boosted Boy, so there's really no defensive ult for that combo. Here comes the pile drive onto the objective, and that's really going to start this next team fight.
The Valkyrie wings are being used. Bijan able to find Void in the backline. The main tank gone. That's going to be a lot of pressure on the cart that's going to not be there. Keon's Flux doesn't get anything along with Fated Dragon. Absolute popping the visor. Boosted 10% away from getting that Transcendence online. eNet Vanguard does a wonderful job just kiting Absolute's entire visor. But he doesn't need the visor to find Piano Man. MK resurrects back and Absolute finds the other DPS, Ethan. Mine's coming in, Transcendence just a little bit late. I'm not sure about this Transcendence. It looks like eNet Vanguard wants to commit some ultimates here to turn this fight away. There's just too much pressure. When Void came back, Ethan, they were able to apply a lot of pressure on card with both tanks. Obese Chicken wants to turn this fight around again. He's gonna pick up 2 kills, and now the spin to win from Bijan on the ball. Obese Chicken now beats the star, finds 4 kills in this team fight. Looking for the pin.
5.
Wow. Well, Obese Chicken just 1v5 the entire team of V3.
This is where I think, and as we get Fate on the Doomfist now, this might end up working out a little bit better for the engagements that V3 is looking to take. I just think that we were a little impatient with the ultimates that we were using on the side of the attackers, particularly that Visor, which didn't really find much value there in the early stages of that engagement. We saw the position that eNet was taking almost punish them a little bit on their attack. They did this on the first objective as well, where they wrap around to the backside of the defenders, and I think that if it wasn't for Obese Chicken, they might have actually lost that point. Now there's 55 seconds in the time bank, and V3 has got to make something happen.
The Dragons oh, no. That's not what you have to... You're going to have to reset real quick.
Did I speak too soon?
I think you did, Ethan. A little too soon. While I was seeing that attack, Fate was kind of struggling to find an angle to attack. He was going across the map, tried went up to the window, Obese Chicken was there, had to win over to the side, there wasn't really a good angle, and we see Fate switch over to McCree to deal with Obese Chicken. That might be enough as we're rolling down to 15 seconds on V3's attack, and that's a really early Mines. Absolute dropping the visor here, both support ultimates, the trans and the amplification matrix from Parry. Doesn't really get anything done. Ooh. 3 people in the air. The flux is big from Jay. Finds Parry. Boyd dropping the bongo. Counter flux coming out from Keon. 5 ultimates being used from V3 on this attack. Fate gets taken out. Both tanks, though, still up from V3. And with both tanks up, well, not Void falling, but Absolute able to clean the rest of them up. Parry just switching to the Lucio, get back into this team fight. Bijan's, we might see a contest here, but it looks like his team's just gonna say, no, we have a pretty good setup here. Let's just regroup.
As someone who plays a little bit of Sigma myself, a lot of the heroes that V3 is running actually, and as someone who, you know, is really not a fan of Mercy and how she can just glide around, I'm drooling a little bit at the connection of those hyperspheres onto MK, last pick of that last fight there. Absolute now on the high ground. He's going to be looking to get that next visor, but really what I need to see from Absolute is an aggressive position with these attack visors. 2 times in a row now, they've used the attack visor and it really hasn't got much value. Oh, Fate gets stuck!
I don't know about this Doomfist, Ethan. Like, typically when you have a Doomfist, you have a Winston or Ball, usually to follow up with him, so he doesn't just get single taken out as V3's team gets cleaned up by eNet Vanguard. He switches back over, trying to get some better positions here, but I just don't know. There's just not a lot of follow up.
I like the selflessness that we saw from Fate punching out as soon as they realized they were stuck there. We saw Parry do that as well as Baptiste. They got stuck and they jump into the air, which is really nice. But you're right. I don't know how well this is going to work out, especially as we see ultimates being lobbed out onto the objective. Booster Boy does go down, so there's the man advantage that V3 is looking to start with. But do they have what it takes to follow through?
Well, Fate finds the kill on Booster Boy, but gets resurrected right back. Piano Man getting 1, 2, 3 kills on the Hanzo. Just applying the eliminations. The post bomb comes out. Oh my goodness. Doomfig from Faye, he's gonna be focused down very quickly, and well, it's a DPS stars on the side of eNet Vanguard. Piano Man and Obese Chicken making huge plays in this first map.
You also, obviously those are the big boxes, the big blue boxes popping up in the kill feed here, representing the DPS players for eNet Vanguard, just really making these, or landing these significant instances of damage that are turning into eliminations. Really kudos to them. A little bit of what I want to look at as well is Boosted Boy and MK's little icons there in the kill feed as well. I'm seeing a little bit more of them light up there than I am of Zaxadillo and Perry in particular. Yeah. Now, granted, that's part of that is because the eliminations are, for the most part, being found on the side of eNet here. V3 definitely has their work cut out for them here on the defense, but I also feel like in this Zenyatta matchup, I feel like Zaxadillo is still just dragging a little bit behind Boosted Boy. I want to see a little bit more aggression from V3.
You know, this is a small reason why Ethan I love beginner. They bring out the Torbjorn. I love seeing Torbjorn. I've said this multiple times, casting for UGC. And we might see a pirate ship. For those of you who don't know what pirate ship is, the cart that you have to escort, you drop Bastion, who's just a turret, and you just protect the turret, and he just goes on a bit of a ride on pirate ship through the rest of the map, and we're gonna see the pirate ship meta come out. Oh my goodness, 2018 coming back. Pirate ship and Torbjorn turret. Fate on the Torbjorn trying to apply some pressure, but Obese Chicken on the Bastion, he's just enjoying the ride through Junkertown. They haven't been able to pressure him down yet. And Piano Man on the flank with the Hanzo, that's gonna be a deadly duel. The pole comes out, shield there. Obese Chicken finds Zax though. Piano Man finds another, and one elimination is just gonna take all. Oh my goodness, it's gonna take all V3 out of the fight, and we're seeing some changes from V3 coming out right now.
Yeah, Fate and Absolute are both going to go to that sniper composition that we saw a little bit of on the attack there. We're going to have them on Hanzo and Ash. We now have Symmetra on the side of eNet. Piano Man probably looking for some cheeky teleport plays. So the thing really to look out for as they round this next corner is the rotation of the shield resources between both these teams. There's a teleport onto the high ground. We're going to see what happens here.
What? They teleport onto the high ground? They have a few on carb, but now Obese Chicken's up there on the high ground, and he's in the tank formation. Finds one, the Absolute gets taken now. They're in a great position to knock them off the high ground. They're rotating back around because there's not going to be enough shield there. They can pressure Obese Chicken. He's trying to get right back onto the car, but kind of an awkward shield placement. V3 on the high ground, trying to apply some pressure onto the low ground. Now teleport just straight up on top. Fate finds the headshot on Piano Man. One falling now, Void falling dangerously low. Immortality field able to keep them up. Fate finds two, and with the kills there, it looks like eNet Vanguard's gonna take just a second to get full team back up and running.
Looks like V3 learned a little bit about their lesson as far as positioning around this Bastion setup. Even with the Sim Teleporter, that might be working against eNet here. We saw in first point, they kind of got routed to the stairs. That's a beautiful pick onto MK. That's going to slow eNet down even a little bit more. And they're already a slow composition to begin with. Pull down onto Void onto the low ground really isn't going to mean much, especially when you're working with tank ultimates and the Dragons and the Transcendence coming into this next fight. I don't see a scenario here where eNet is able to set back up and confidently take this objective without spending a few minutes to fight this next fight first.
Well, Xiuna was taking such an aggressive angle, but now tons of ultimates coming out from both sides. Zax has the Transcendence to keep everyone up healthy from Bijan's flux, but now they don't have any support ultimates now for the tank configuration from Obese Chicken. He finds one, both supports gone now, and with three there, it's just gonna stall it out just a little bit longer. Bijan's picks up two, Obese Chicken's just off on the off angle with his pocketed mercy of MK. They're walking right around. They'll be able to cap point B here with tons of time in the time bank.
Couple of things ended up leading to the collapse there of V3. You know, I said that I didn't see a scenario where eNet was able to take that, you know, really easily, and that's exactly what they did, actually. They proved me wrong, and you know, mostly it's because of the disconnect on the gravitic flux from Keon. Only 30% now to flux because we're still sitting on this bongo. Damage amplification and a little bit of extra ult charge, and Void is sitting by themselves on the low ground, gonna be lacking for shield resources, and has to use those ultimate in this fight for sure, right?
You would think so, but they're actually picking up the kills without using ultimate. This is a great fight actually for V3. They were able just to pick up some kills with some spam. Absolute switching onto the Ash might be a difference maker here. The Dynamite explosion able to provide a lot of AoE pressure on the tanks, supports, and the DPS on eNet Vanguard because they're all together. If he can land a really good Dynamite, that just might be enough. PM dropping the wall. Dragon's coming right through a Beast Chicken, able to get out of the way, keep supported. Cars moving very close. They're gonna have to touch here. 9.99 meters away. Void gets taken out, and no one is going to be able to touch. And eNet Vanguard will be taking his first map of Junkertown. I think they were just a little bit scared, Ethan, with a obese chicken on the Bastion. Fate picking up the play of the game, though, on the Hanzo. Honestly, some really, really nice headshots coming out from him.
Yeah, absolutely. Fate had their moments in the sun here for this particular match. This one is on the it was on their attack phase, actually, and we saw a little bit of that selflessness demonstrated from Pear. Stuck and jumped into the air actually was the first thing we got to see in there. So, you know, it seems like V3 has a pretty good idea of kind of how to approach some of these comps, but man, they got stymied a little bit too long on the streets phase of Junkertown, and you know, they really weren't able to put a stop to the momentum of eNet on their defense round. And like I said, I think a lot of that is connected to the ultimate usage and the value that they're getting out of those. So, you know, if we can see those kinds of corrections made on the fly going into our next map, then I think that V3 actually stands a pretty good chance of at least picking up a map or two in this series.
Absolutely. As we get to our next map choice of Busan, I would love to see some more Symmetra Bastion plays myself.
Oh no, Guthix, don't say that.
I do like seeing some. I know how you would say controversial lineups or compositions in Overwatch. And hey, if it works, you know, you still win the game. And your opponent still has to figure out how to deal with it. So we saw that V3 was struggling to deal with the Bastion, and then throw in the Sim, have some teleports up onto the high ground. It worked out for eNet Vanguard on Junkertown, and they take a lead in the series 1-0, trying to find their second map on Busan and finish off this series.
Yeah, because every map that we play from here is going to be match point, isn't that right?
Yes, best of 3. So whoever gets 2 wins first. Busan will be our next map. And if V3 is able to tie the series up, then we'll be going to our third map of Blizzard World. And if we do get to OT, which I guess it is possible on Blizzard World to draw it, then our overtime map will be Oasis. But we'll have to see if we actually get there, Ethan.
Yeah, for now we'll just be starting here on Busan Mecha Base. Actually, one of my personal favorite control point maps with the elevating the little partitions going up and down around the point. Lots of ways to enter the objective. It's not like some of the other maps where there's only really one choke point. We were thinking of Paris right there.
Paris, yes. We
so
don't talk about Paris here.
No, we do not. And so you've got lots of approaches, lots of different things that you could be running here. And it looks like V3 is going to start with something, you know, maybe more or less conventional. A Reinhardt Zarya-based, a Rush kind of composition with Absolute on the McCree and Fate on the Doomfist, which we were a little bit leery of on Attack Junkertown, so we'll have to see what kinds of value Fate gets out of the Doomfist here.
Nevertheless, I think it's controversial. Did I say conventional earlier, Ethan?
No, you said controversial. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we see a bit of a mirror composition on Mega Base. Definitely that brawl, but Xiuna on the Zarya able to provide bubbles to Boy, trying to build up that charge. Fate punching in right here, finds Phaser counterpart. Both Doomfists falling down though, so they'll be out of the equation. The McCrees have to make it happen. Zac on the Lucio finds Piano Man, taking out DPS and Boy charging in. That's going to be V3 winning this team fight and should be capping this point very, very soon.
Yeah, here, once they can take control of that objective and really fortify it with their presence, it looks like we've got Keon here on the high ground, just ready to fortify this position. I liked Fate's willingness to trade there on the Doomfist. You know, they got a significantly lethal threat out of, from Phaser out of that fight early, and so after that, if they get picked by B-Johns on the D.Va, then that's fine, because the rest of the team can take space after that. And already another fight is breaking out. Ooh, there's the Shatter, but it connected to a shield.
Absolute looked for the flash. He got a stun, but Boy was just a little too slow. Graviton Surge lands, unable to get eaten by B-Johns, and well, that's gonna do it. That's gonna be a big difference maker here in this long team fight. Keon on the Zarya, if they're able to land a Graviton Surge, that's gonna be huge for V3.
Yeah, and isn't that what you have the D.Va for? It's not just for the peel. A big part of that is being able to mitigate those big ultimates. So, you know, we really need to make sure that B-Johns is getting max value out of that defense matrix going forward.
Phaser just switched over to the mate here, so they rotate over. Fade has his ultimate. He's going to be looking to be really aggressive here as he punches in. Hainu coming out on both sides. Piano Man catches Fate though as he rolls out. They won't be able to make any impact here on this team fight right now. Shatter comes out. Solo Shatter on Void. Immortality Field keeps him up and alive. Boosted, drops the beat, and now the Mate Blizzard's going to finish off Boy, and Phaser's going to clean it up, picking up 3, and the point should be switching over to eNet Vanguard so they can start building percentage of their own.
Really good utility there that Phaser offered, and I liked the long rotation around the right side of the objective here for the side of V3, kind of forcing them into a position where they had to drop or contest. Void ends up dropping and then gets shattered, and now, ooh, are they going to win this fight so quickly?
I think so. They're just going to win this and walk in. Bomb comes out. Is it going to find anyone? It finds Zax on the bottom, trying to hide there, but gets caught out. With just B-Johns though, gets out of mech. Oh, that's gonna be terrible. A big scat. Hold on, wait a second. Where was Phaser?
I think Phaser thought the fight was over and reset. Oh, there's 3 ults from 4 ults from V3.
Oh my goodness. I mean, there's not much you can do when you walk into 4 or 5 ultimates. You're probably gonna get wiped out. Especially when one of them was a Graviton Surge. Yeah, there's not much you can do. There's a few stagger kills coming in, a few stalls, but V3 should be cleaning this up here as the kill feed shows all red. And I think we found a really good Doomfist map for Fate to play as Doomfist on.
Yeah, I'm munching pretty happily on my words. They're filling me up right now as Fate, kind of persistently lights up these kill feeds, and is a big part of the reason that these team fights are happening really quickly and also resolving just as fast as well. The swiftness of the engagements here for V3 is actually a warm welcome for me, especially compared to their performance on Junkertown, which played a little bit slower.
We're seeing some switches for eNet Vanguard. I think Jay is tired of the Doomfist. Switch over to more of a untouchable composition, though. Jay, usually you play a D.Va here instead of the Roadhog. We're seeing some switches here, but it's just gonna get out of spawn point a little faster. Yeah, so more of an untouchable, spread out composition. The Mercy's gonna stay with the Zen. The support's gonna be together, keeping them alive. But jumping back to Piano Man on the Ashe, while the Tracer and the two tanks are playing the front line, looking for picks. And yeah, Piano Man with the damage boost headshot on Keon. That's going to take out the tank, and Bijan finds Faye in the backline, and they might have just found the composition to counter this brawl comp for V3.
Yeah, quite possibly. Look at the way that the edges frayed for the formation here of V3 entering that engagement. It all opened up with the pick onto Keon as the Zarya. Now Void's just trying to get out and reset with the rest of the team. Keon now in the Sigma is going to be able to thwart some of these off angles a little bit better, and the extra shield is going to be good against the Roadhog hooks, and also the damage coming in from Piano Man and boosted. But I don't know if they'll be able to continue to play together like this.
A lot of the pressure that comes from this composition eNet Vanguard's play is from Piano Man on the Ashe. Just long range pressure, trying to find some support, while Jay up in the front line finds two, pops the whole hog.
Yeah.
Void gets pins Phaser against the wall. But the Resurrection's just gonna bring boosted back. Two supports. V3 is gonna have to regroup once again. Again, Piano Man isn't really getting pressured at all with this comp because he has the Mercy pocketed. Boosted's there to pop the Discord orb on Faith or on Zax if he goes in. There's just not much they can do as they come into this fight.
Well, they've got a couple of ults. They're going to start it with the high noon there onto MK. Piano Man picked out as well. Mindful going to come out as well as the Pulse Bomb. But honestly, it looks like things might go the way of V3 this time.
It definitely does. Absolute picks up 3 kills, Ethan, and takes out the Mercy Ashe duo. And 9-10% only build up from the first cap. You probably can get 2 fights in if you do lose the point. They do have those support on both sides, and Jay's coming up with another whole hog that could apply a lot of pressure. V3 does have the ultimates, though, to hold this fight.
I think so, with both defensive ultimates, Keon with the Gravitic Flux, and, you know, they're going to have to touch the point, but I think they're going to do so together, and that's going to be big. Oh, no, but not if Zax gets picked out early.
They don't have the beat now. That might be devastating. Jay pops his whole hog, able to apply a lot of pressure. Absolute picks up the kill on support. Should be able to get resurrected back here as he does. Jay finds Absolute, the main DPS threat for it. B3 gets taken out. Zach comes back and drops the beat. Able to keep everyone healthy. Perry finds Jay, picking up some kills on support. And boy, able to find MK. That's going to send it back. An 87% build up from 77. Honestly, Ethan, Zach coming back with the beat was the turning point.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, they did yield the objective there for a little bit, but I'd rather yield the objective and give the enemy a little bit of percentage than lose the fight entirely. And we sacrifice the beat in order to do so as well. I'm going to be looking at B. Johnson, how quickly we can get this next minefield up as the next fight opens up with a high noon from Absolute.
Just zoning everyone off. Phaser is very close to the pulse bomb. He's trying to find it, but not before Perry picks off Jade. That window on the center of the point in a very good position here. Phaser 4% away. Doesn't want to give away his position, but we're 10% away. eNet has to make something happen. They have to get on point. They have to start overtime, which shouldn't be a problem. Piano Man, though, on McCree, switch over from the Ashe. Mine's coming down. Doesn't really get anything. It's just all in the back line. They're able to switch around here. Jay gets taken down. And now the kills are coming out for B3. They had the ultimates ready. Fade on the Doomfist cleans up the DPS. And all the kill feed is showing red as B3 coming back strong in this match. And we have a series, Ethan.
And what a great series it's played out to be so far. Each team having ample opportunity to show us the kinds of things that they are capable of. Here's Absolute coming in with play of the game, opening up this fight. I think it was onto MK. That's right, that elimination going onto there. Triple taps Piano Man and manages to evade the minefields, gets the stun and the critical finish
Ooh.
onto Phaser. Really good, clean gameplay coming out from Absolute. You know, who really didn't have quite the opportunity they needed to shine like that on Junkertown. So I have high expectations, hoping that the proactivity from the tank lines for V3 is able to enable that kind of gameplay from both of the DPS, because Fate also had their moments to shine, especially on Mecha bases Doomfist, and also the swap onto Sigma from Zarya that Kion made. It kind of enabled Fate to play a little bit more independently, and that ended up working out for V3 in a way that I didn't think it would.
Yeah, honestly, going between Junkertown and Busan, it seemed like the DVS for V3, Fade and Absolute, it just felt like a better map for them. So we get into our next map. Blizzard World will be our third map here, which can't be drawn, Ethan. So we could go to the overtime map. That would be exciting. I think we're getting
Yeah.
some word that one of the players are AFK. Oh no, he's back. We're good. So as both teams get everything situated. Looking back on Busan, V3 coming back strong in that match and evening this series out, keeping their hopes alive. Again, whoever picks up this win should be guaranteed some slot in the playoffs in the beginner league, and well, that's always great just to have that in the back of your mind going into your final match next week.
Yeah, absolutely. The game being played between these two teams tonight, especially considering their standing so far in this season, this game is their lifeline to the end of the road, if you will. So I'm so glad that we're getting to see both these teams really hit the ground running here and show us what they're made of. More importantly, they're showing each other what they've got as well. We've seen adaptations be forced from both sides. V3 forced to adapt to the double shield Bastion, and not quite so successfully, albeit on Junkertown, and then eNet with the drastic shift into a more independent, entirely independent composition there on Busan Sanctuary. So my question is, you know, which team is really going to force the hand of the other team coming into this, what's possibly our last map of this series?
Yeah, it's both teams are just organizing some things out. Let me mention our sponsor here at UGC. UGC Overwatch Season 15 is sponsored by Vite Ramen, the high protein noodle that does it all. Visit shop.viteраmen.com/UGC and save 10% off your order with code UGC at checkout. I have to get some ramen, Ethan. Check them out. It's pretty good, I've heard.
Yo, I like me some good ramen. I'll have to get my order in with that code.
Say 10%. UGC.
You know, hey, I'll look to save anything I can get. When I spend as much time playing Overwatch as I do, yeah, I've got to watch the budget, of course.
You're buying all those loot boxes, right?
I outed myself. Yeah, I've got thousands of loot boxes, and I just can't stop, Guthix. It's not
No,
ending
no,
anytime soon. But what is ending soon is this series, unfortunately for us. I've had such a good time watching both these teams play. I'm hoping for a draw. I've got my fingers, my toes, my arms and legs all crossed, thinking that maybe there's a chance we could go to a map 4, but I mean, that depends on how these teams play and the kinds of things that they're wanting to accomplish with their compositions on this particular map. For Streets phase, the second objective, lots of hit scan. We might see the Ash come back out again for
see,
one
pirate
team or
ship.
other.
Pirate ship.
Pirate ship, yeah, once
There's
they
the
capture
card.
the objective.
There's the card. We might see the Bastion come out for Abuse Chicken. Not sure though. We'll have to wait and see as both teams get their loadouts ready. Gonna see PM Man on his Hanzo. We already saw what he could do on Junkertown. Let's see if he can pull it out for eNet Vanguard. Some interesting picks in the spawn point. Of course, that can be changed. Well, we'll see what V3 actually sticks with. Honestly, I love these long series, Ethan. Love these long series.
Yeah, it's so much fun, and there we go. I'm sitting here cringing in my chair, thinking I've never played a good game where I have Ball and Zarya as my tanks. We've got Void swapping back onto the Reinhardt, and with a hearty backline behind them as Perry and Zax on the Baptiste and Lucio mirrored on the side of eNet. We're going to be looking at some really long and arduous team fights. It's going to be on Fate to make this as quick as possible.
Yeah, I know, right? All mirror composition. Looks like a V3's rotate all the way around to the defender's side. They're going up onto the high ground, but now Ryan walks in. Jay gets taken out though. Obi's chicken on the ground, able to find two. Keon takes out MK. That's gonna be a lot of healing guns. Keon just cleans it up here. Void gets taken down though by Obese Chicken. And I think Obese Chicken is the only one to pick up kills, along with Bijan. It's only Zax here as some spawns coming back in. The tanks alone on the point. Fake gets taken out from Jay, and they're gonna have to regroup. However, one tick was built at least, and on Busan, on the inside map, we saw that V3 was just better running this mirror composition, but Bijan does have the flux, and on the Sigma, it's a bit of a difference maker here than the Diva.
Yeah, and you know, Obese Chicken is definitely the win condition potentially here for V3. Want to get them out of the fight as soon as possible, especially with this combo. It finds 2, 3, 4 going down for V3, and that team fight's already over.
Well, that was a quick team kill. With Obese Chicken and Bijan's picking up the duo ultimate, bring everyone up high in the air, and then just high noon them finds 2. And they're going to have to regroup here. Keon still decently far away from the Graviton, but a Graviton Surge could be a game breaker if Boosted doesn't build his beat fast enough. Perry's gonna have the window here as they walk right onto point. Dragons keeps everyone off of it. Absolutely gets taken down. The Shatter comes down. He hits 3 on the ground. Jay's Shatter is just better. Fate pops his ultimate, brings it down. Beat now to keep everyone else alive. Able to allow Void to apply a lot of pressure. And the cleanup is there between Fate and Keon. Keon's gonna be basically have a Graviton Surge, and they're gonna get this card going through Street Phase.
Hey, you know, Guthix, I might need one of these players to send me the replay code of this match so that I can go back over it. I don't know how V3 won that. They started the fight at a man disadvantage. They were playing into ultimates. They used some of their most important resources and invoked a massive shatter that was just never capitalized on. Now we have the window coming up from eNet, which V3 is just like, let's just back off from that and not even worry about it. And they continue moving cart relatively quickly, mind you, around this corner. They're going to be playing into high ground here, and it looks like, oh, that's where they're going to take this next fight.
They're just going to take the high ground with the window from Perry. And wow, look at how much space V3's able to take. Being super aggressive. No one start card though. Usually the Lucio goes back. It's going to be fake though. Get some healer from there. Oh, the card's still not moving. PL Man doesn't want it to be moving. A lot of space taken. A lot of ultimates built up. But the cart still has a long way to go, and eNet's able to retake this team fight.
I like watching these team fights play out. I'm really looking carefully to see how many times this series Void falls and dies, because I haven't yet seen that very often this series, and their lifeline on the payload here is going to be really important. There's a grab
Graviton Surge. Now the high noon. PM Man takes out Absolute. There wasn't a lot of follow-up from the high noon, and the DPS is going to clean it up for eNet Vanguard. I think they were just trying to keep everyone off the point with that grab and then just cap it. They almost did it, but 2.79 meters away.
Yeah, and they'll be going into this next fight with ultimates still. V3 equipped with the Meteor Strike and the Earth Shatter, which, if big enough, might make for a good combination with the Meteor Strike. However, Fate might just want to use it to get a pick and then get out. Quick re-engagement here from Void, looking to take that space. Stun already expended on the side of eNet. So here comes the Shatter. Oh, and the counter Shatter.
They're both blocked. They were both blocked.
What?
Yeah, the Void gets his shatter blocked by Jay, and then the bubble from Keon blocks the shatter from Jay. Well, Alex, as I'm saying, that PM man does what he wants on his Hanzo and finds 3 and just ends that team fight once again. But both shatters negated. Now, it's double support ults for V3. A minute and 15 seconds left. And they're going to be walking into a high noon and a window and a dragon and a diva. This is going to be bad. The high noon is popped there. They're going to have to keep everyone out and alive. They do. Doing a bit of rotation here. Perry and Zax have their support ultimates. Absolute trying to build up to this high noon. Perry's gone. They won't have that. But Fade picking up 2 kills. That should be enough as they finish off Bojo. No bomb gets anyone there, and Obese Chicken tried to get a sneaky flashbang kill with the Diva Bomb, but that's not going to be enough as V3 rolls into point B. Now 2 minutes in the time bank, trying to finish this last phase with time in the bank.
They're warming up. They're wiping the sweat from their brow, saying, okay, good cap, let's start focusing on the next fight. A couple of things almost tripped them up there. For one, the indecisiveness about what pathing to that next engagement they were going to take. And here's the High Noon coming out from Absolute behind the shield of Void. About to crack here, actually. Want to be careful of that because Jay has the Shatter. It's going to come out, right?
Oh, it came out exactly when you said it did, Ethan. It came out exactly when you said it. The shield was gone, and there was nothing they could hide behind. A giant shatter from Jay, and it looks like eNet Vanguard decided to hold very aggressively here, right at this first corner. This might be dangerous because Keon does have the grab, and Perry does have the window. Fake gets taken out. Absolute takes out Piano Man. The Graviton Surge is just lurking there, and the shot comes out. It's gonna be enough follow-up through the B. They find one. Absolute trying to find another one. Jay falling dangerously low, gets taken out, and it's all red in the kill feed. 3 on, 4 on right now, trying to push this cart through. 37 seconds remaining. They want to finish this with time. Obese Chicken, he's switching over to the Bastion. He's gonna try to apply some pressure from the spawn point. Dragons on cards gonna do a lot of damage. Boy gets melted from Obese Chicken. And now Obese Chicken sitting right on the throne. Finds another one. 15 seconds remaining. The switch from for Obese Chicken onto the Bastion. Just applying enough pressure. 10 seconds remaining. I don't think anyone on V3 is going to be able to touch. We don't see a switch onto the ball. No one's going to be able to touch here. And that's as far they'll be able to push it. And, well, there won't be an overtime match, Ethan, because V3 did not finish the map. So we will have a victor here.
Let me wipe the tear, the lone tear running down my cheek real quick, Guthix, as I lament the fact that we won't see a 4th map between these 2 teams. But that doesn't mean the series is over yet for V3. Here for V3, I'm telling myself, you know, hey, look, 105 meters. It was a good push, and we have a really good opportunity to defend this. What I think I need to see from this V3 squad is just a little bit more patience with their ultimates. They're so ready to commit these big abilities, and yeah, you don't want to save those for, you know, some kind of rainy day, but you definitely don't want to commit both of your tank ults to a team that has sound barrier HP on them, and you also don't want to use your high noons when your shield resources are suffering, or when Hanzo, in this case Piano Man as the Hanzo, has a really good line of sight with storm arrows on you, right?
I mean, yeah, I agree. We've had such a good series here, though, Ethan. Both of these teams definitely even in records, but even in play as well. whoever wins this match, punching their ticket into the playoffs after next week's game, should have a pretty good run here in the beginners playoffs as we get on our way. eNet Vanguard getting onto their attack here into V3's defense. V3 opted to play this Zarya instead of D.Va. Obese Chicken played the Tracer.
Yeah.
We'll see if Absolute can deal with that, honestly. We have to
Gotta
see
watch
if
out for
Obese
that.
Chicken can make something happen. They're playing this D.Va again. We didn't see much good results on Busan with the D.Va. Fate finds MK, and with the Baptiste gone, Jay's just gonna get targeted down very quickly. He's very low. Only Lucio heals. There's not gonna be much they can do. Fate finds another pick, and it's just these stagger kills coming in. They're just gonna have to regroup. Fate comes in once again, gets out, allows them to pressure just a little bit, and well, they're gonna have to regroup here, and we're getting a pause here, probably some technical difficulties, and already looking at this match, Void is super close to the Shatter Ethan, and they're gonna have to keep an eye out for that one.
Maybe an opportunity for a little bit of revenge here against JP here for Void, especially considering how many shatters were landed, how many big shatters actually were landed onto the side of V3, and also the ones that, you know, were sacrificed from Void that really didn't find much value. A couple of things went really right there for V3, namely the early pick off of MK from Fate. That sacker, that takes out a lot of sustain here that eNet has. Looks like we'll be going back into the game. We'll be unpausing here. But also, you know, as we watch Obese Chicken, watch how tentatively they have to play on this Tracer against Fate's Doomfist and Absolute's McCree. Perry and Zax can peel for each other and protect each other, and Kion, once they have high energy, they'll have a bubble to spare for any pulse bomb or one clip that tries to come through.
To keep an eye out on Obese Chicken. He's been doing decently well on DPS. You saw the Bastion, of course, win that map on Junkertown a few minutes ago. A big shatter coming out from Void. It's 3 down. Immortality Fields melted away from Perry, and there's just going to be some follow-up kills here from B3. And I don't know, Ethan. B3 is showing some pretty good gameplay here on the defense, and now all the ultimates coming up online.
Yeah, now they'll be playing into the Pulse Bomb and the High Noon, as well as Shatter Bomb. Yeah, I mean, everything coming up for eNet. So we're going to have to play pretty carefully here if we're the V3 squad. But again, I'm looking at a difference in these compositions right here. Fate's Doomfist and Void's Aggression. This comp is meant to go in and get damage done. And that's exactly what I think is going to happen this next fight.
Pulse Bomb coming in the back. High Noon's being popped. The Enderman gets his High Noon off before Absolute. As the charges come in and both Reinhardts get on the ground, they're gonna have to play it slow here. Kion isn't there to drop the Graviton. A few stagger kills coming out here. They can give up a few ticks here. 2 ticks being given up. They're gonna try to get back here and contest. Lucio comes down. Shatter comes down.
It's big.
They only have Lucio from follow-up, but Void's able to find 2. D.Va Bomb coming out here, able to find Zach. So the spawn point is coming back here for V3. Kion does have the grab, trying to hold on to it. Don't want to use it if they don't have to. They're going to use it on the D.Va though, try and focus it down. And V3 turns the momentum back. Now a few stagger kills coming in for... the spawn points are coming back from eNet, but they're just not enough. That's just smart Overwatch, Ethan, for V3.
Oh,
just
man.
smart Overwatch.
I said this at the beginning of the series. I said, look, these teams might be in the beginner class, but don't think for a second that this doesn't mean we're going to see some boring Overwatch. I called for patience in our use of ultimates earlier for V3, and that's exactly what we saw from Void and Zax, waiting until the last second to touch and get that 3-man shatter, which single-handedly turned the fight. But now they have to win one more to defend.
They're gonna have to win without support. Booster gets taken out, and the DPS making it happen. Absolute finds a beast chicken. The Tracer just wasn't enough. Fade in the back line, find a 3, and his Doomfist honestly came alive here in this series. Bojan, so in the back line, able to get the touch. We'll be able to touch once again. Some spawn, the stall characters coming out here. Ball comes out. Absolute finds Jay though. Fate takes out B-Johns. And it's just been a DPS show all freaking night for both teams. But the DPS for V3 will come out on top as V3 will take this series with the full hold on Blizzard World, finding their golden ticket, Ethan, into the playoffs.
The hopes are still alive for the V3 squad, and here we see play the game going to the tip of the spear. It was the shatter that I really didn't approve too much of, but the follow-up onto the graphics is exactly the kind of thing that we needed to see from our attacking team in this round. They clean up the fight there. Void saying, great game, guys, in the chat, and yes, it showings from both of these teams and a really great turn of the series on the side of V3, really figuring out what their win condition was and following through on some of the big plays that needed to be made.
What a great series. V3 picking up this win, improving their record to 3-0. However, we're getting word that eNet Vanguard's run not necessarily out, since the series did go to game 3. They picked up at least one win in the series. If eNet Vanguard wins 2-0 next week, they might be able to slip into the playoffs. Low seed, of course, but they their hopes are still alive, Ethan. That's actually pretty interesting.
I mean, Guthix, today V3 has won, but also if I get to watch eNet Vanguard or V3 play again, then I have won. And that's, I'm a selfish person. That's really all that matters to me. eNet had some really good plays today, whether it was the Hanzo from Piano Man or, of course, Obese Chicken's Tracer gameplay, especially on Junkertown. We got to see the double shield bash and the pirate ship flashback to maybe a better year in 2018 there when that composition was popular. We got to see so many fun things this series, and like I said, it's not because it was a certain class that is being played by these teams in the tournament, the beginner, intermediate. It's just because these are some teams who are confident in the things that they're doing. I love to see it.
I love to see it as well, Ethan. Let's take a look at our player of the match here, and I gotta say the DPS for V3, both absolutely wonderful and fantastic. But I gotta give it to Fate on the Doomfist. It didn't work out in Junkertown as much, but on Busan and Blizzard World, he was able to find those picks on the support in the back line and able to just find elimination after elimination. Of course, tip my hat to Absolute on the McCree as his DPS duo, but Fate picking up the player of the match in this series, Ethan.
Yeah, and the best DPS players out there are the ones who demand the fewest resources from their team, and we got to see a little bit of that from Fate as well, able to play so independently from the rest of the squad here, and really coming in clutch on the defense of Blizzard World. I reiterate, Obese Chicken on the Tracer had to play so carefully around the DPS duo, but mainly around Fate, who can match the mobility of Tracer as the Doomfist for V3, and also, you know, carries a much greater weight of lethality as well. So, you know, not only were they coming in clutch with the eliminations on Busan, which was so much fun to see, but they were also a really good thwart to the off angles that were trying to be secured by either the DPS for eNet. I concur. Yeah, Fate popping off this series, really showing us what the DPS lineup of V3 is really capable of. You put them on the right map with the right composition, and yeah, they'll dominate just like they did today.
Teams definitely have to keep an eye on V3 DPS lineup and figure out how to deal with them. Congratulations to V3 picking up their third win of the season and punch their ticket to the playoffs. That's going to wrap it up for us here at UGC. Ethan, a pleasure casting with you, my friend.
It's always a blast, and if you guys want to see more of me, then head over to twitch.tv/ubuffaloesports. I do casting production for them, and follow me on Twitter at LordThEthan. You guys can see a lot more of me.
Gotta check out Ethan over at Buffalo University. My name is Guthix. You can follow me at Guthix Esports on my Twitter to keep up with all my casting gigs here at UGC and anywhere else I'm doing some Overwatch casting. Thank you everyone for joining us for this wonderful evening of UGC Overwatch Season 15. We'll be bringing you more action every Friday. Keep you updated with all of our leaks. Follow our Twitter at UGC League to keep up with our announcements there. Have a good rest of your evening, viewers, and see you later.